In this video, we're going to go over the prospect page and the information that is laid out. Starting from the left-hand side, we can see that Toby is currently enrolled in a sequence. I have the option to pause it as well as to unenroll him. So therefore, if I've connected with the lead or I've scheduled a meeting or they're not interested, I can then unenroll them from sequence straight from here. Below, we have their company logo, which you can see situated on the right-hand side. Then we've got that they are the human resources representative at Dunder Mifflin Paper Company, as well as their email address. We then have action buttons listed below, which I'll have another video for. We have the About This contact section. If I scroll down as well, we have the SDR lead update section. If your campaign has the SDR lead update, this is where you will update the contact properties. If not, you'll make use of the About This contact section. So I'm going to start with the SDR lead update. So when I've attempted contact with this prospect, either by making my first call to them or sending my first email, I would then need to update my lead status and therefore continue updating it after activities where I've connected with the lead. So first outreach and I don't connect with them, I'd mark it as attempted to contact. If I do connect with a prospect, I got connected. If they were interested, they asked me for more information, I'd mark them as interested. I would also then unenroll them from the sequence and create a task. This will also be explained in another video. If the prospect has stated that they're not interested, I will need to also update that and update and unenroll them from the sequence. If I've been able to schedule a meeting with them, we mark it as meeting scheduled. If they were a no-show, the AE would generally update the meeting outcome to no-show. If not, you would be responsible to update the no-show. Then we've got nurturing, unreachable, and unqualified. If the lead has given me any reason to see that they are unqualified or it matches any of the unqualified reasons, I would update their lead status to unqualified. I'm going to go ahead and click on attempts to contact, and you will see that it's asking me to save it. Anytime you're updating a setting or changing a property on a lead, it will ask you to save those settings. So always double check that this appears at the bottom in order to ensure that it updates correctly. If I've been able to schedule a meeting with that lead, I would then need to update the meeting properties. So meeting scheduled on would be the date that I called the prospect and we had our conversation and we were able to schedule the meeting. So if it was today, I would select today's date. And if the prospect was interested in meeting next week Tuesday, I would select next week Tuesday's date. How the meeting was scheduled via, so you can see the options that we have. Maybe I messaged them over LinkedIn, they responded to my email during a phone call we had, maybe via a lead hives campaign. We've got video call, website, chat, SMS, and other. I'm going to click on phone, and then we've got meeting outcome. So generally this needs to be updated along with the Whistle Hub updates. And you can see that the options for the meeting outcome correspond with those. So if the prospect hasn't attended my meeting, I'd mark them as a no-show. If the meeting's just been scheduled, I'll update it to scheduled. Once it's completed, it will update. I can see that there's rescheduled. Maybe they were a no-show, reached out to them and we got the meeting rescheduled. Then we've got cancel. Maybe you reach out to the prospect and they're no longer interested. Then that the meeting was held, it was qualified or held and unqualified. Those are the options that we have there. And it is important to remember to also update that if the meeting was held and it was qualified, that you're updating it to whether or not it is an SQL. Then we've got deal amount and deal stage will be updated via workflow if the campaign is updated to that. Going back to the lead status, if I were to update it to unqualified, I would need to ensure that I've updated the unqualified reason. It is very important for our data and for us to understand why the lead was unqualified that these are updated. For unqualified reason, we have that the prospect has no budget. They just don't have the financial means to purchase our product at the moment. They're making use of a competitor. If they're bad data, then we need to ensure that we're updating the bad data section, which I'll also go through at the bottom here. Then we've got do not contact. Maybe the prospect has spoken to us and asked us to take them off their list. They're unreachable or they're not a decision maker. From there, I would just need to ensure that's updated. If it does fall within bad data, we have this little bad data check and we're saying yes or no if they're bad data and the bad data reason. So we have that they have the wrong phone number, the wrong email, the incorrect ICP, maybe they don't fall within that. They're no longer at the company, the incorrect job title, and the incorrect geolocation. It's super important to go through these bad data reasons with your AM or TL just to understand what each of these properties mean in terms of your campaign. We also have at the bottom, you'll have your SDR owner being you, and then the lead type, inbound or outbound. Also important to understand this, it will generally come when the leads are uploaded into the CRM and it should update, but if not, just important to have that updated as well. I'm just going to go up to the top to the About This contact section. And here we can see the prospect's email address. If you need to make any changes or any edits, perhaps the gatekeeper has given you an alternative email or the prospect himself has given you an email, you can click on the little pencil icon and add additional emails to them. If the prospect has a phone number, you will see it listed over here. You'll see that the contact owner will have your name, when they were last contacted, their life cycle stage, which is generally updated via workflow, or a specific AM or TM or TL will update the lifestyle stage. Then you'll see we have all the properties that are listed in the SDR lead update. Why we suggest working from this if you have it is that it will then update the About This contact section. And it's super important to have it as accurate as possible. So after every interaction you have with the lead, if you do connect with them, you will then update the lead status. If you keep reaching out and you're not able to connect, it would stay as attempted to contact. In this middle section, it has the activities, which I'll go over in another video. And on the right-hand side, we have the companies, which are connected. So you can see I'm able to click on that, and I'll go over that in another video as well. And that is the lead properties within HubSpot.